all those things yetu tunaweka kwa maombi, and that is the message keep preaching. That is the wordings, we keep pushing out there. Si mangumi na si mateke. It's getting us to 29 minutes past 7. And a lot happened yesterday. Starting from what happened in the streets to even what is happening online. Like for us, we woke up in the morning, nakuta CITAM was trending, and you wonder hii conversation yote inatokea wapi. And we thought we need to clarify things, and Mankaris is not the one to clarify things. And today, by God's grace, saizi chap hivi, we are live on Facebook, and we are also live on YouTube, and I'm hosting the lead pastor CITAM Valley Road. Kimwangalia hivi ni kama jalala, messages zimekuwa mingi sana. Karibu sana Rev Jesse.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And of course, speaking also on behalf of the CITAM Church,
yes.
Just clarifying what has been trending and is also trending as we speak right now.
Yes.
And karibu sana Rev.
Asante.
And I'm happy to host you, by the way. This is the first time I'm hosting you.
Yeah.
And you've been touching on things affecting the young people. Maramob sana. Hata walikubrand ule Rev wa matatu. Mambo ni mingi.
Yes.
And this one, I know it's close to your heart because you're the lead pastor at CITAM Valley Road.
Yes.
And that is the CITAM Church that has been on the limelight the better day of yesterday, the better part of yesterday and today online. First of all, najua shirika pia wanatusikiza.
Exactly.
What do you have to tell them even before we get into the whole CITAM statement?
Thank you so much for hosting me. It's great, of course, always great to be here at the studio. I think the first thing is for us to identify with what happened yesterday, and especially the loss of life. We had actually hoped and prayed that this time around, that as people go out to protest, which is actually their right, that we will not have loss of life. But unfortunately, it was reported that 10 people at least, were killed, and of course others were also injured. And we want to wish, especially the families of those who lost their loved ones, we just wish them comfort during this time and more grace. And those who are recovering from the injuries, we also know some of the security agents were also injured. I think we saw some very bad scenes on TV, people being attacked. So everybody who was injured, and was a victim of violence, we just pray that God will give them quick recovery. We had really hoped, we had prayed as a church that it was not going to go that direction. It was not going to become violent, but unfortunately, that is what happened. But nonetheless, we cannot relent. We have to keep standing up for what is right and what is just. Now, and again, as you've already mentioned, we woke up, of course, to a barrage of all kinds of things on social media.
Almost 30,000 tweets.
Yes, on X and other social media platforms, targeting CITAM and more particularly CITAM Valley Road. Now, I was personally very surprised because I was not even aware. I just got to realize in the morning that we were actually trending. But I want to first begin by maybe referring us back to just about a week ago. Our presiding bishop, Bishop Callisto Odede, did issue a statement from our ministry that was titled "Concerns over the Bloodletting of the Innocent in the Country." And I know this also circulated, and that was actually the CITAM position, I think, on this matter, that we are very, very concerned about the bloodletting and acts of injustice and impunity that we actually seeing, and also again to stand together with the rest of Kenyans that we definitely do need changes in this country, legitimate changes, and again also demanding that our present government also please pay attention, I think, to what is going on, because people are hurting. But then secondly, we also continue to identify with those who have suffered in the process. Again, remember, since last year, tens of people have actually been killed. That continues to be a source of concern for us. Many others have been maimed. Many others have disappeared, yet to be found. And I think as a ministry and as God's people, I think that's something that we are still demanding. There has to be justice. As I keep mentioning, that when you see parents crying for the blood of their children, those who have died, others don't know what to do with their children who end up in hospital because they have been injured, bills are piling, nobody's coming to help them. These are things, of course, that continue to affect us because we are also Kenyans. But also, maybe thirdly, is that we wish to state the facts that yesterday, and maybe this is where now the crux of the matter is, that there were barricades around the city, including around and about Valley Road. Valley Road is situated at a security zone because remember, we are just opposite the Department of Defense. So these are very, very, is one of the government installations, and we're just opposite. Now, the barricades by the police around the area of the church, around DOD and around State House, made it very difficult for anybody to actually access, Valley Road. More so the demonstrators. All right. Our deputy bishop at some point did receive a call by people, who wanted help. And he gave instructions and directions to our caretaker who was on the ground and who actually stays here on site. He gave instructions, that anybody who needs refuge, and this is on record, that they can be given access. We have done this before last year when there were demonstrations. There were people who actually got access and were given refuge. Now, our caretaker stayed, because now, having been told that sometime in the early evening yesterday, he stayed on at the gate until 1:30 a.m. in the morning, waiting for anybody who may need help. Nobody came. Nobody showed up. And then after that, of course, he just, went and retired, of course, to sleep. And we as a church and as Crisis the Answer Ministries, we affirm, please, and I think it's important, that our policy and practice of embracing the vulnerable, the needy in society. So we don't shut our doors to anybody. You don't even have to be a member of Crisis the Answer Ministries. We will attend to you. We will minister to you. It does not really matter. However, so nobody showed up as far as we are concerned. So this morning, with all these barrage of attacks that we have received, we personally, as a senior pastor, we have actually gone through, we have interviewed all the relevant people. My team has also gone through the CCTV footage, and nobody came to Valley Road yesterday at any point, day or night, and was turned away. And at this point, Caris, maybe it's good for us to also just ask if there is such a person. If you came and you were turned away, please come and talk to us. Come and talk to me as a senior pastor. Come and identify yourself. But as far as we are concerned, with all the CCTV footage, the caretaker who was on the ground, the security guards who are left here to man the facility, nobody came. And I think it's important for us to make that very, very clear. Because then has been alleged that we turned people away. And some of them, as a result, because they didn't have anywhere to go, were actually attacked. Now, of course, if anybody was attacked, it's unfortunate. But I wish somebody can clarify and tell us they were turned away from CITAM Valley Road, because that has been the subject this morning. So I appeal to us as Kenyans. I appeal to anybody out there. If you came to Valley Road and you were turned away, identify yourself. Come and tell us what time it is that you came, whether you came as a group or as an individual, and just tell us, because we don't have that information. As far as our security guards are concerned, as far as our caretaker is concerned, nobody came to Valley Road yesterday at any time. So we do not know where these allegations are coming from. We do not know what the intentions are. But allow me, maybe as I conclude, to just read a press statement. This is coming from our deputy bishop. Now, and the subject is this: on stand on justice, human dignity, and allegations against CITAM Valley Road. So this is our position coming from the hand of our deputy bishop. As Crisis the Answer Ministries, CITAM, we firmly uphold the sanctity of life and categorically oppose all forms of violence, including the shedding of innocent blood, extrajudicial killings, rape, corruption, poor governance, and other social ills. It is our policy to unreservedly support justice, human dignity, and good governance in our nation. Now, on 18th June 2025, our presiding bishop issued a public statement that was titled, concerns over the bloodletting of the innocent in the country, where we affirmed the constitutional right of Kenyans to peacefully assemble and express their grievances through picketing. Furthermore, CITAM acknowledges and respects the participation of its members in demonstrations held yesterday, 25th June 2025, in memory of those who lost their lives during last year's protests against the 2024 Finance Bill. Now, we have noted with concern allegations circulating on social media platforms X, claiming that demonstrators seeking refuge were turned away by security personnel at CITAM Valley Road, one of our assemblies. In response, we wish to clarify categorically the following. Number one, based on our security records and a thorough review of CCTV footage, there is no evidence that any person approached the premises seeking refuge on the said date. Therefore, no individual was denied entry. We received calls by people who wanted help, and we directed them to CITAM Valley Road. We were ready for them throughout until 1:30 a.m. We were expecting them. No one came for help. Number three, CITAM Valley Road was not easily accessible yesterday. During the protests, surrounding roads were barricaded, which actually made it impossible, almost impossible for a demonstrator to get through, actually to come to Valley Road. Even for us as pastors, it was difficult to access the church yesterday. It is our policy, number four, and practice that the doors of all our CITAM assemblies remain open to anyone in need of help. We regularly assist members of the public in times of crisis without discrimination. Number five, we have our track record in humanitarian and disaster response. Through our social action and advocacy department and our local assemblies, CITAM has consistently responded to emergencies and national crises, including the Embakasi fire tragedy, the Mai Mahiu flood disaster, and drought relief efforts in various regions of the country. It is within our mandate, policy, and practice to embrace the vulnerable and needy in society. We deeply value the lives and dignity of all Kenyans. As a church, we remain committed to being salt and light in the nations, guided by the teachings and compassion of our Lord Jesus Christ. We stand with all Kenyans for truth, justice, and unity as we work towards a more just and peaceful society. This has been given to us in the bishop's office by our deputy bishop, Reverend Justus Mugambi. So again, just to reiterate, Karis, that if anybody was stand away, please come and talk to us. But we want to again just advise Kenyans, we advise our members also, please do not allow yourself to be lied to. These are allegations that have no basis. As far as we are concerned, we have done investigations. There's no basis to them, and you know, most likely are very, very malicious and aimed at tainting, you know, the image and the name of Crisis Answer Ministries, and we take great exception to that, and I think it is absolutely wrong. So if anybody has any contrary testimony or experience, please come and talk to us. Do not just take what you have read on social media as truth or as gospel truth, because it is not true. We have sought to try and clarify that as much as possible, and up to this particular point, we are yet to receive even one person who has come to tell us, by the way, I was here and they turned me away. If you're such a person and you know for sure that you came and you're turned away, come and see us, and we will make retribution. But for now, I wish again to clarify that incident did not, Karis, it did not happen. Yeah, it was a fabrication. I wish there was even an iota of truth to it, but it was a fabrication. It did not happen. CITAM Valley Road did not turn away any demonstrator yesterday, day or night.
And I like what Rev Jesse you've done, and of course the church. If you are out there and you are at CITAM Valley Road yesterday, na ukakatazwa kuingia, wacha hata niongee lugha yenu, ukafika hapo ukaambiwa rudi mahali umetoka, please come. And Rev, just a question, you know, are there plans, because there is this tweet that started the whole conversation, came from somewhere. Is the church going to investigate the source of that tweet, or we just put our position there? Na Mungu atutetee? You
know, there's freedom of speech in this country, so we do not intend in any way to investigate the source of those allegations. People can say whatever they want. I mean, at any given time, it is really your right. But unfortunately, what I keep saying is this, that whatever you tweet out there, whatever you put out there, please let it be factual. Because sometimes we end up hurting others. You end up hurting somebody else, injuring other people, injuring institutions. And that's not right. Because then again, in your freedom of expression, you are now infringing on other people's freedoms. You're infringing on other people's rights, and I think it's not right. So whatever we tweet out there, let it be factual. And I also maybe to remind, especially our members here in Crisis Answer Ministries, before you believe anything, please, this is CITAM. Come and talk to us. Come and verify. And I'm very, very grateful, by the way, for so many of our members who have sought this morning, have been calling us, have been texting us, just trying to find the truth, saying, Pastor, is this true? We really salute you and we thank God for you for that. So before you swallow it hook, line and sinker, clarify. Just come and clarify, and we will tell you the true position.
Wow.
Yes.
Last one. A lot happened yesterday. The young people are at the forefront.
Yes.
You relate to the young people very well.
Yes.
I've sat there, I've listened to you sharing,
Yeah.
and just speak to the young people of this nation right now before we end this.
One of the positive things that I think is we must celebrate, and I have said this many times, is that since the Gen Z uprising last year, the Gen Z have become the conscience of this nation, and for that we are really, really grateful. I mean, they keep pricking our conscience, especially matters to do with governance in this country. Some of the social ills that we have seemingly embraced for so long, I think, as a country, whether it is negative politics, whether it is negative ethnicity, all those kind of things. And they're demanding authenticity. They're demanding for accountability. They're demanding for good governance, which is great. And we must all together, stand together, shoulder to shoulder. But I keep reminding them that we don't have to be nasty. We don't have to insult people. We don't have to be violent. We don't have to injure anybody to make our point heard. If anything, if you look at some of the greatest people across history who fought for the rights of their countrymen and their nations, were people who carried themselves with a lot of dignity, with a lot of respect. They respected even their opponents. It is important to always exercise that principle of respect. We don't have to be nasty. We don't have to be violent. And of course, in this day, apart from the violence we witnessed yesterday, there's a lot of violence on social media. And honestly, we have to call it out, because and something that occurred to me, I realized that you don't fight injustice with injustice. Because I don't have to violate your rights, Caris, for me to fight for justice. All right. So if I become unjust against you, and then purporting to fight for justice,
there's no justice.
There's no justice there. All right. We must fight injustice with righteousness, with truth. We must, of course, speak truth to power, articulate our points and articulate our ideas, but I also, maybe finally, as I finish, I've said that at the end of the day, the power that we have as a nation is in the ballot. That this movement that began last year must culminate at the ballot box in 2027, so that we can take the future of this nation into our hands, so that we can elect the right people that we need to govern us as a country. So I just want to again encourage our Gen Zs. Again, it is sad that our many of them have actually lost their lives, maimed, some of them, others have been put in prison for very trivial issues, which actually are neither here nor there. It is unfortunate. Those are acts of injustice, and we continue standing with them. But also, we want to ask for a responsible group of Gen Zs who can articulate the issues in a way that is respectful, that in a way that still preserves the dignity of other people. All right. So that's what I will actually say, to them during this time.
Thank you so far for coming in. I think if anybody is joining us, now the stand of CITAM concerning what has been trending, and kama wewe ndo ulianzisha hiyo tweet, umesamehewa, lakini ukwe very responsible. And very important also to clarify is that if you are at CITAM Valley Road and you are refused entry, it was not a place of refuge for you yesterday night, please come. The church is open. Rev is here, amekukaribisha sana, because from the side of the church, they have looked at the CCTV. There was nobody who came. There was information, yes, we would like to come. Nobody came. So you can also come and say, yeah, I was there. Muliona vibaya. And then maybe we can look again and again. Rev, thank you for coming through.
Thank you,
and thank you for doing this with a lot of grace.
Yes.
You know, nowadays a name tainted is not something light, because social media right now is very big.
Yes.
But you've done it with a lot of grace, and I believe heaven is very happy.
Amen.
You know,
we thank God.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Asante.
Baraka.
Yeah.
Umesikia kijana, keep reminding you, be very